grandson the right thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Little flock, it's important that you remember what you are, your characteristics. If you don't know, then you won't understand why your circumstances are the way they are, why you have to endure the things that you have to endure, go through some of the things you have to go through. You won't know how to respond. In other words, if you don't know who you are, then you don't know what to do. And anyone who's been in this life knows that that is a perilous feeling. It is when we're at the end of our rope, as we say, when we say, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Well, that's because you don't know who you are. If you know who you are, then you know what to do. Well, us as the little flock, what does Abba say about us? How does he describe us? Well, the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 5, he says, Now therefore, if you will obey my voice, indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. This is the book of Exodus, which means the children of Israel exiting bondage, slavery. And so the Father is taking them out of their slavery, out of their condition of not knowing who they are. Do you see how I started this video? How it's connecting to this? They had no identity, didn't know who they were, so they were slaves. Abba took them out of there and told them that if they kept the covenant that he made with them, and if they obeyed his voice, then they would be a peculiar treasure. A peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Now we can agree that the whole earth is Abba's. So his people that he chooses is, for first of all, his election, his choice. Like it says where it says, so that his election might stand. You see, his choice. Well, he said his choice is peculiar. You understand that? Peculiar. Well, what does that word mean? Peculiar. Let's get it. Peculiar means strange or odd, unusual, funny, curious, bizarre, weird, uncanny, abnormal, different, out of the ordinary, rare, extraordinary, exceptional, mysterious, perplexing, puzzling, mystifying. Do you hear these words? Because that's how he described you. You are a abnormal treasure, a out of the ordinary treasure, a perplexing treasure, a baffling treasure. Did you know that about yourself? And you have the nerve to be asking the Father, why is this happening to me? Because you're a peculiar treasure. You are, little flock. You are puzzling. Now, have you found yourself being puzzled by your life in this world? Why am I different? Why do I think and feel different than the people around me? Well, did you read that? Because you're peculiar. You're perplexing. So there's really no need for you to be perplexed. You are perplexing. That's why he says, marvel not. See how it's connecting here? I want you to really hear this. He says, marvel not if the world hate you. Well, if you're perplexing, puzzling, rare, out of the ordinary, that means you stand outside of the bunch. They probably are going to treat you like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was treated by his friends and pals, so-called family. Because he was puzzling, was he not? He was out of the ordinary. That's you. There's a whole bunch of blue pins in there, and you're the red one. So all of the blue pins think that they're normal. Well, you're abnormal. So marvel not if they reject you. That's what hate means. Marvel not if they reject you, because they're puzzled by you. They are perplexed by you, because you're uncanny. You're bizarre. You're unfamiliar. You're unexpected. You're weird and odd. So they tell you you are, and then you marvel. When he says don't marvel, they're telling you that you're weird. And he says that you're a weird treasure to him, because that's what peculiar means. Odd. When you see something odd, do you say that's weird? See? That's peculiar. That's you. You're that thing that makes people says, that's odd. And you're just trying to fit in with the blue pins. Do you ever have problems telling the red pin different from the blue ones when you look at them? Do you ever have an issue, or is it easy to tell them apart? That's you. You walking down the street thinking you look normal. And then people are looking at you strange, and you're like, I'm just walking down the street. And you think you're being gang stalked. Well, no, you're just being looked at because you're peculiar. Children of Israel, can you hear that today? You believe you're being gang stalked. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. If you were, let's say, out in nature, going for a hike in the woods, and you've been out there hiking many times, and you've seen all kind of animals, foxes, deer, raccoons, squirrels, birds, and shit. Well, you thought that was all there was out there. You had been out there walking, and that's all you ever saw. Well, then one day you happened to see a new animal you had never seen before. How do you think you would respond when you saw that animal? You may stop and look and watch it move and marvel and think, wow, what is that? And I've never seen one of those. That's you. And that's why people stop and look at you like that. You think they're gang stalking you. They're not. They're not gang stalking you. They're actually perplexed. If you knew what you were, then you'd understand that. You can't hide from your perplexing characteristics. You can't hide from being an anomaly. You are an anomaly. It is who you are at the core. So shout out to my brother right there, if he's listening. But you are an anomaly. You're odd. So when you're in class at school, you're the one animal that's like that, while the other ones are all normal squirrels and raccoons. You're the one new animal walking through that no one's ever seen before. No disrespect by saying you're an animal. Y'all follow me, little flock. see? So let's get some more understanding about this word peculiar that Abba uses. So that was Exodus, right? Well, let's jump to the New Testament and see if we can get some precepts in both the Old and the New if Abba uses this word to describe us. Because we have people that say, well, he was talking to Israel there, and God has now taken on the Gentiles and taken on a new nation, and things have changed since then, so now it's different. Okay, well, let's see. This is First Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But you are a chosen generation, chosen, a royal priesthood. Oh, shout out to my brother, if you're listening. A holy nation, a peculiar people. So, holy nation means set apart nation. Who was God talking to back there? Israel. Now, what did he say in the new? I shall make a new covenant with the house of Israel. So he's making a new covenant with the same people, telling them the same thing that he said before. A holy, set apart people. A peculiar people. So here we go again. A odd people. You're odd. Now, do you know what makes you peculiar? What makes you strange? What makes you perplexing to people? Your inner workings. How you operate from the inside out. See, because this world operates from the outside in. They let what's going on outside of them impact the inside of them. But you work opposite. So of course you would be perplexing. The words you're speaking are coming from the inside. You're heeding to the inner voice before you act. They're not. They're leaning to their own understanding. So when they act, they do what a natural brute beast would do. You don't. You do what the Spirit leads you to do. That causes you to be peculiar. Because you have faith in hopeless circumstances to the 3D eyes. That makes you peculiar. You stand strong when others are terrified. That makes you peculiar. You're kind when others are unkind and quick-tempered. You're long-suffering when others are quick to cut others off. You hope all things when others give up their hope. You bear all things when others cast things off of their shoulders and no longer support. Do you hear me today? That's what makes you peculiar, because the world doesn't understand. What are you doing that for? What are you hoping to get for letting that person stab you in the back, hurt you, and you're not retaliating? Why are you doing that? What do you hope to gain? This person is mistreating you. Mistreat them back. And you say no. Why? And then that's when your opportunity comes for you to tell them why. Because my father, because of what he's told me, what he's telling me. That's who I serve. I am not my own, but I am bought with a high price. And so I no longer live unto my own self. And it is no longer I who live, but it is Christ who gave himself up for me. He lives in me now. Because I in turn gave my life up for him. Oh, wait a minute. You gave your life up for Christ. That's what the scriptures require that we all do. If a man seek to save his life, what will happen to him, little flock? But if a man give up his life for, see, it says give his life, and then it gives you the reason why. Not just giving his life, but if he give his life for, for who? All right then. Then what will happen? He will find his life. He will find that his life is Christ. That is his identity. That's where he's hidden. See? a man wants something good, he will only find it in Christ. He wants a good wife, he must go to Christ to find her. She's hidden there, brother. You want to find her somewhere else. What's the way? Who is the way? But you want to find some other way. Okay, well, I'm peculiar. So out of all of the ways that there are out there, I follow the one, the narrow. That's peculiar because all the people are going that way. Isn't it obvious? You go against the grain. That's what makes you peculiar. The world is going one way and you're going the other. You're saying, no, I will not be friends with this world. While the whole world is being friends. They talk the same, act the same, dress the same, wear the same makeup, wear the same hairstyles, wear the same brands. They talk the same way and do the same things. Go to the same places, act the same way when they get there. Chase the same things. But friendship with the world is enmity with God. So I can be men's friends and get the benefits of being friends with men, or I can be friends with God like my father Abraham was and be approved of the Father forevermore. Okay, well, that makes you peculiar then in this world, as we read in Exodus and as we read in Peter. So nothing changed. A same holy, set-apart nation called peculiar. Now, in this world, they don't want you to feel that way, do they? They didn't teach you that being peculiar was good. Being eccentric or the outcast or oddball would be considered a negative thing. You would get bullied for being that way. So most people don't want to be the oddball. Well, of course, this world would do that to you because this world is hatred against God. This world hates God. That's why he told you through his son, marvel not if they hate you, because they hate me first. Remember, Ezekiel was told, go talk to Israel. They won't listen to me. So they're not going to listen to you because they won't listen to me, but tell them anyway. See? You see? So that's proving that they don't want to hear God. They don't want to listen. So if you are one who hungers and thirsts after righteousness, then you're peculiar. You're not normal. See, I have to say it like that because a lot of the little flock had to be shaken out of that bewilderment of understanding that you're not normal. You wanted to be when you were living and growing. Well, that was the time of the wheat and the tares growing together. See, in order for them to grow together, they have to act normal. The tares have to act like wheat. The wheat is acting like tares. They're blending in together where they're hard to tell the damn difference. So let's separate them at the time of the harvest so that they can see what they've been dealing with. An energy vampire. Isn't that what weeds do? They suck all the nutrients out, but they don't give any fruit in return. You can't use a weed to cook any damn thing, but you can use that wheat. So wouldn't it be better if the nutrients went to the wheat versus the tares? Well, that will only occur when the separation happens. Well, this is what I'm describing to you. This is the separation. You knowing that you're peculiar. You knowing that you're not a part of them. And it is well that you're not a part of them. It's not a sorrowful thing. When you see that your mother's a part of the world still, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, when you see that they're lusting after the world and chasing after it, and you know now that you were in error doing that, because friendship with the world is enmity against God, and you learn that, so you stop being a friend to this world, and they remained friends, well, what happened to your relationship? hey man, I just want things to go back to the way they used to be. Well, they can't because I'm not the man I used to be. He's dead. I'm new. Behold, I make all things new. Can he lie? So then was he lying? He came to make out of the twain one what? Does it say he came to make out of the twain one man? Or does it say one new man? What does it say? Skeet dee 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 dee. That's right. That's right. All right. Let's get some more precepts. Deuteronomy, we're back to the old again, because we like to hopscotch like that so we don't leave nobody questioning whether it's true or not. Deuteronomy chapter 14, we'll start at verse 2. For you are a holy people, just like he said in Peter, a holy nation. See? Nation, people, same thing. For you are a holy people unto the Lord your God. Your God, see, you serve him. The world doesn't. So you shake those cobwebs off from understanding that. You were in error saying, wait, I thought the whole world was loving Jesus Christ. No, he's your God. He's not the world's God. They reject him and hate him. Isn't that obvious? That's why the earth will mourn when they see him. All the tribes of the earth will mourn. That's what it says. Well, that's because you're not part of the tribes of the earth. You're part of the tribes of heaven. If you're part of Israel, you are. Because those gates on the New Jerusalem are the tribes of Israel written on there. The 144,000, 100,000 are Israelites. That's why I be saying Israel when I be talking. Y'all understand that today? Because you are a chosen people, a holy people unto the Lord your God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people. There it is again. A peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. Deuteronomy 14:2. So that's 3 times that we've heard that God calls us holy, chosen, and peculiar unto himself. These are mine. I am yours and you are mine. Y'all understand that? All right then. So that's 3 times that we've read this. Now we're going to get another one right here since we're in Deuteronomy. Let's just grab another little snack while we're over here. Peculiar people. He's not using another word. He's using the same word. And we now have deep understanding of what that word means. Odd. Unusual. You are going to be an unusual people that I like all to myself. I don't want no normal people. I want abnormal people. I don't want no cookie cutters. I want outside of the box people. Free thinkers. That's what I want. People who use their free will correctly. People out here thinking they're using their free will. No, you're just going along with the program of the world. You're not using your free will. You think you are, dummies, but you're not. You see? Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's see what we see here. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are on the earth. Special. All right, so we see peculiar and special. Now remember I told you, they try to make it seem like these things are negative when you're called these things so that you won't want to be that. Peculiar, strange, oddball. What did we just read? Special. When you were in school, they had classes that were called special classes. Now what kind of kids were in there? You see what I mean about how they try to paint that word in a negative light? You're behind. You're not as good as the other kids. You're special. You're behind. You're a little lacking. Special. You see what I'm trying to tell you there? Well, that's the word God used. So now we need to see, what does it mean? I mean, we all know subconsciously what it means, but we're going to get deep down in there. Special, better, greater, or otherwise different from what is usual. Same thing as peculiar. Now, the first meaning is better. So now, remember I told you they said that the special kids were actually less than, they were lacking. See how this world calls evil good and good evil? Special first meaning is better. So then we are better. That's what I mean. So why do you feel bad? Because of what men tell you? Men hate you of this world. They hate you. This whole world hates you. It hates what you stand for. It hates what you love. It hates what you're yearning after. It hates what you want to be. It hates it. Marvel not then. But Abba love you. Now, do the world love Abba? No, they don't. They don't. They're sick. They're destroyed. They're reprobate. They're given over. Hear that? Special. Exceptional. Marked. Uncommon. Outstanding. Unique. What is the opposite of special? Ordinary. See there? We're just ordinary people. Yeah, the world, you are. John Legend and all the people of the world, y'all are just ordinary people, but we're not. That's why y'all don't know which way to go. And we do. Isn't it so obvious, Israel? Because y'all are just ordinary people. So y'all don't know which way to go, but we are special, peculiar people. So we know which way to go. Y'all hear me today? Y'all hear me today? Yeah, John is a legend. I ain't talking about John Legend. Oh, man. But back to the point. So now, do you understand your characteristics a little bit better today? How do people usually feel about the special one? They hate that nigga. They're envious, actually, is what it is. And envy is worse than hate. Okay? So, they envy you because you're special and peculiar and uncommon. What do you think trendsetters are? They're special, uncommon. They're leaders. Don't you understand what I'm telling you today? That's what you are. And they envy you because of that. They hate you because of it. It's not because of anything that you've done. It is because of what Abba is in you, which is life. Life. You see? Programs are only followed by robots. Now, are you a robot? Nope. So you can't follow a program without getting very irritated and upset and stressed out. Free. The free children shall not be heir with the bond. The bond children shall not be heir with the free children. Y'all understand what the scripture means when it says that? It's talking about those tares. Yes, y'all are living together for a while, but eventually you'll be separated. Now, when I quoted that about the bond child will not be heir with the free child, who said that? That would be Sarah, the wife of Abraham. She said, yep, the tare, Ishmael, he's been dwelling for a long time with the wheat, Isaac. And they've dwelt together for a while, believing that they were brothers and believing that they were equal and believing that they were the same. Hear me today, Israel, or what? But they got sifted. And the wheat was gathered into the barn or into the tent, and the tare was cast out into the fire or out there into the desert where they were burning and said, we're going to die out here. We're going to burn up and starve. Hope you hear that today because that's a future prophecy. So the news gonna play it. That's how the news gonna play it. It's a future prophecy. Welcome to 144,000 News Channel here at God. And we just want to say that having a good day, and we're looking out here into the atmosphere and we see prophecy being fulfilled, and cue the music. I don't understand today. So ain't no need in you feeling bad about who you is. It ain't no need about you feeling bad about how people treat you. Expect it. Don't marvel. Listen to what your master told you, because he'll keep you walking on top of that water. And even if you slip and happen to fall, guess what he'll do? Yeah. See, you already know. Silawan Israel.